I'm not sure that I'll be doing much as a review channel. Probably not. But this is an unsponsored testimonial. This is my Ker Plunk wand from Tommy James. I have had it for over 10 years, and it's incredible. I've got to say, this is probably one of the best made and sturdy props I've ever purchased. And I've bought some junk over the years. This one is great. Tommy James makes top quality products, and his customer service is beyond expectations. More on that in a minute. The premise of this is magician in trouble. You bring out your most amazing wand ever. Starts off, you tell them, it's in your blue bag. I pretty much use his routine because it's very good. And you open the blue bag and the wand isn't there. It's a red bag. Oh no. Well, first you can lose it. He puts it under his arm and loses it, and they have to help him find it. And you can drag that out as long as you want. But then you open it and it's not here. It's a red bag. They, of course, expect you to open the red bag, and there's a green bag. And eventually, hopefully, you get to the magic wand. And that's when things start to fall apart. Literally. It's a Ker Plunk wand. You can go around and you can lose the tip. You can have it hanging, and they can all wiggle, fix it for you. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. It goes on for a long time, just trying to get to the wand to start a trick. You could do 5 or 10 minutes on this easy. It's a magician in trouble effect, which kids love, and it's really fun to do. This is just fun to play with, and the kids love it. Comes with 3 silk bags, very well made. Even inside, all the seams and everything are hemmed nicely. Just right here at the very top, I've got this minimal amount of fraying. After, I don't know, 12, 13 years, I bought this thing in, I think, 2010 or 11. I forget. I've had this thing forever. And this minimal amount of fraying right here at the very top is all there is. The rest of the inside of the bag has all the edging is cleaned up nicely. So there's like no fraying. These are really, really well made. Both sets are well made. Why do I have 2 sets, you ask? Well, you can order a new set of bags if you wish. I did not, because mine are fine. Back in Texas, I had no problems with this at all. Of course, it was only a couple years old. Here in the Philippines, we have a problem with glue. I think it's the heat and the humidity. Things that are glued don't stay glued. So this little gem on the trigger mechanism fell off after I moved to the Philippines. I figured I could just glue it back on. But because I love this thing so much, and it's this kind of clear and shiny gem, I didn't want to mess it up. So I emailed Tommy James and asked him, I made it very clear. I said, this wand is old. This is not a warranty issue. This is not a complaint. But it just happens that this little gem came off. I want to fix it properly. I don't want, because super glue gets cloudy and weird and stuff sometimes. So I asked him, I said, just what would you recommend as the best glue to put it back on without damaging it? I ended up using contact cement. I'm not sure what he recommended. I actually looked for my old emails and couldn't find them. But he wrote back with like, I know exactly which wand you're talking about. I haven't designed them like that in years. I can't believe you still have one and that it's held up that well. This was not a prototype, but this was a very early model, apparently. So he said, use whatever glue you want, and I will send you a new one. Amazing, right? This, I mean, unbelievable. I could not believe he would ship this, and shipped it all the way to the Philippines. Absolutely free. I did not ask for it. I did not expect it, but I sure wasn't going to complain. So now I can compare the two. The trigger is nicer on the new one. That little plastic gem thing was kind of weird. It's basically, it's just, there's a screw, and this is glued onto a screw. It works. This one, I'm not exactly sure what he's attached. I'm not going to take it apart to find out, but it's much nicer. It's smoother, and actually the trigger slide is shorter. So the new one has less movement, and the gimmick is stronger on the new one. I never really had a problem with it, but now this older one, and it's very old, when you're doing this part and you're trying to bring it back, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it falls off. If it falls off, the kids laugh, so it's not a problem, but it's not supposed to fall off. It didn't do that before, but it's been dropped on the floor so many thousands of times, because that is the gimmick, that it falls and it will land on the floor. And most flooring here in the Philippines is bare cement or ceramic tile. This has a very hard life. Still looks amazing for its age. Oh, something I didn't notice until today. The old one is a little shinier. The new one is painted black on the inside. I've never really watched it being performed, so I don't know if that's noticeable or if it's important. It's just slightly different. Now, one thing that did concern me is when you put it back together, you put this right next to the microphone. You can hear it. It's actually pretty loud. And because it's stronger, the new one is louder than the old one. And so I was like, I'm cringing, because it's like, they're going to hear it. They are not going to hear it. The kids are out in the audience. First off, they're far enough away. They're not going to hear it. And they're laughing and screaming because you're up there just falling apart. Stuff's not working, and you're terrible. And you're crying, and it's wonderful. So they're not going to hear it anyway. I had my wife on the other side of the room, and I was doing it, and she's like, I can't hear it. I was like, okay. But yet it is, just because it's stronger, the new one is a little bit louder. But you're not going to hear it. The old one made some noise, and the being stronger and the shorter trigger movement, I thought was a big improvement. I had no complaints with this one, but this one is even better. This one's great. This one's better. I checked the website. Right now they sell for $65. I think when I bought it, it might have been less. I want to say $55. I don't remember. And it was 11 or 12 years ago. So whatever it was, I've definitely gotten my money's worth. Top quality, well made. This has got to be one of the best made, sturdiest props I've ever bought. Unbelievable customer service. I mean, unbelievable. After how many years, he just sends me a free one? Come on. It's amazing. Minor difference. The old one has his routine on a 2-page with black and white pictures. And it includes an extra page of little gags and gimmicks like drop it on the floor, kick it, chase it around the room. You can put a washer in your back pocket so this will stick to your butt. And then as you're turning around looking for it, the kids are all laughing and pointing, because things sticking to your butt are very funny in a kid's show if it's done respectfully. So that extra page was stuff, he said these aren't his, these are just other people's ideas that he put on here. And there's some cute ones on here. The page of ads is good. because he's got a lot of great products. The new one didn't come with a page of ads or the extra page of ideas. It's a single 2-page with color pictures. It's got most of his routine on here. And if you can go to YouTube and look up Tommy James Ker Plunk Wand, or just on his website, he's got a video, you can see the whole routine. I don't use his like word for word, but I use a lot of it because it works. It's funny. The kids love it. And there's nothing wrong with using a professional routine if you're using professional props. Oh, speaking of, he makes amazing, silly products. Sometimes when this is broken and you're trying to reattach it and it won't reattach, maybe you want some glue. This is another one of his products that I bought. You can see exactly what it is. You could make your own, I suppose, but this bottle has never been used for glue, so it's clean. And this, well, here, let me show you first. You bring this up and you say you're going to get this glue, and it shoots out this crazy string. I make a lot of my own props because I'm crafty. This is thick, it's visible, but it's really lightweight. I would really have a hard time shopping around to find this wonderful string. It's worth buying this just because you don't have to clean the bottle out. It's a brand new bottle. I don't think it's ever been used for glue. Only problem with this, got to take it off, bring it down, and put all that back in the bottle. But it's always good for such a laugh. That's not a hard reset. It's really not. Oh, I've got to say, this is one of my favorite props I've ever bought. It's well made. It works every time. I've never had it fail. And that's something you got to, when you're performing and you've got a failure rate of, you don't want that. This thing's perfect. Never had it fail. Never had it go wrong. Everything on it works all the time. Oh, not again. For more detailed instructions and pictures, please visit the blog at FreeMagicFun.com. Keep practicing.